Hello friend, how are you? Welcome to Tripan Study Center. Today we are going to do the chapter of social science and highlighting each and every point of it. Let's see what is our topic today. Peasant revolt means farmer revolt. In our area lesson, you read about their various land settlement and the vast effect they had on the Indian peasantry. The permanent settlement had made to the Jamidar the owner of the land. But this land could be a short of it if a fail to pay the revenue. On time, there is a fail revenues on the time. And this forced the Jamidar and the landlord to extract money from their peasants. Even if there is a crops failed, there is a peasant even if their crops fail. And these peasants often is borrowed is the money from there is a money lender who were also called to the Mahajans. The impoverished peasant could be never pay back this borrowed money, and this lead to money hardship like a stem their poverty and began forced to be worked as bonded laborers. Hence, the lowers and the exploited classes often to attack their exploiters, and failure to play by the Jamidar also mean that the land would be taken away by the British. The British then would be actions this land to be higher border. There is a highest border and who often come from the urban area. The new Jamidar from the cities had little or no interest in the land, and they did not invest money in a seed and fertilizer to improve the fertilizers of the land, but only carried to be collect as much revenue as there could. And this proves the extractivity for the peasant who remained to backward and stagnant. To get out of situation, the peasant now started to producing a commercial crop like indigo, sugarcane, jute, cotton, opiums, and so on it. This was the beginning of the commercialization of agriculture. That is the beginning of commercializations of agriculture. The peasants now depended on the merchant, traders, and middlemen to sell their product during to the harvest time. As they shifted to the commercially, crop, food, grain production went to down, and less food stock and led to the famines. It was therefore not surprising that the hungry peasant revolted. Let us read more about there some peasants revolt which took place on the account of the British policies. First year, the Fakir and Sannyasi rebellion. The Fakir and Sannyasi rebellion. The 1770, 1820th centuries. The establishment of the British controller over Bengal after 1757 and lead to increase in a land revenue and the exploitation of the peasant. The Bengal famine of 1770 lead to peasant whose their land were conflicted, displaced and jamidars and disbanded soldiers and poor to become together in a rebellion. They were joined by the Sannyasi and Fakir. The Fakirs were a group of wandering Muslim religious and mendicant in Bengal. The famous Hindu leader who is supported them were Bhavani Pathaks and the woman Devi Chaudharani. They attacked English factories and seized there is the goods, cash, arms and ammunition. Madhum Shah was one of their prominent leaders. And they were finally both under control by the British at the beginning of the 19th century. The Sannyasi uprising took place of Bengal between to the period of 1770 to 1820. The Sannyasi rose is a rebellion after the great famine of 1770 in the Bengal, which the Kosi actually chose as a ministry. And however, the immediate Causing of the rebellion was the restriction imposed by the British upon pilgrims visiting the holy place among the both Hindu and Muslims. The next year, the Indigo rebellions. There are Indigo rebellions. There is a time period here 1859 to 1862. The British adopted many ways thought they could be increase their profit, and they also started interfering with their basis of means of livelihood of a people. Not only there is introduced new crop, they also is about new techniques of farming. Heavy pressure was put on their jamidar and peasant to pay high taxes and grow commercial crop. One such a commercial crop was indigo. Indigo here a commercial crop, and their cultivation of indigo was determined by the need of English cloth market. The indigo used here a need for the English cloth market, and they discounted of the farmer growing to indigo was mainly for three reasons. First reason here, there was a paid very low prices for growing indigo. Second here, indigo was not a lucrative as it was planted at the same time a food crop, and loss of fertility of soil because of planting indigo. There is a most important three reason for the farmers growing to indigos here. Here show the most important Bengal's map. The area of indigo revolt in a Bengal 1859 to 62. The Malda, Rajshahi, Pahana, Dakkas, Nadia, and so this is the most important part here. The area of indigo revolt in a Bengal. As a result, food stock are decline. There is a food stock decline. The peasants suffering at the hand of the trader and the middleman of who there is a dependent to the sell their good and sometime at a very low price because their land is a loss of fertility and there is the growing of indigo crop. They supported the Jamidar to maintain their dominance and the deals with their problem in administering those areas. The peasant launched a movement for a non-cultivation of indigo in Bengal. Here, peasant farmers launched the movement of non-cultivations of indigo in Bengal. Hindu and Muslim peasant together went on strike, and the failed case against the planter, and they were supported by the press and missionaries. There is a supported here press and missionaries. The government passed order to the November 1860 notified that will be illegal to force the rare to be cultivated of indigo, and this marked the victory for the rebel. In this picture on your screen, the indigo cultivation Bengal. The indigo cultivation Bengal show unique picture. There is the most important indigo. The indigo used are the many making of cloth of England factories. The next year, for us this moment, there is a period time here 1838 to 1848, and this was the first ever no tax campaigns against the British government led by the Saristullah Khan and Dadu Men. There is a band of the volunteers fought heroically with their armed group of indigo planter and Jamidar. It's brought together all the cultivators of Bengal against the tyrannies and illegal extraction by the landlords. The next moment here, Wahhabi movement. Wahhabi movement, there is a time period here 1830 to 1860. The leader of movement was Sahir Ahmad Barelvi, and the real Barelvis who is greatly influenced by the teaching of Abdul Behwal and Arabia Asa Balahullah and their Sant. The movement was primarily religious in its origin. It is soon assumed there is a character of the class struggle in some place, especially in Bengal. Irrespective of commercial distractions and peasant united against there is a landlord. The next point here, significance of peasant revolt. The aggressive economical policy of the British shattered the traditional agrarian system of India and worsened their condition of peasant. The peasant revolt taking place in the various parts of country were mainly or directly aid this policy. Third, this revolt were not be aimed at the uprooting the British rule from India, and they create awareness among the Indians. They now felt a need to organize and fight against the exploitations and operations. In short, these rebellions prepared the ground for a various and uprisings such as a Sikh war in Punjab and finally the revolt of 1857.